Hi friends, today we are learning about a new group of insects. Our story today is called Insects That Glow and Sing. And I just want to point out one thing before we get started. So obviously, you can see the picture here. You can see me up here and down here. I added some notes where where I'm going to take some notes on the two things we're looking for while we're reading today. So while we're reading, I want us to think and remember the three parts of an insect's body, and then I want us to think about the purpose of insects' body parts. So we're going to learn about three insects today, and each of them have specific body parts, and I want us to listen for why they have them and how those body parts help those insects, okay? So let's get started. Let's see. Where am I going to put this up here? Can you blink, boys and girls? So can I. Does your abdomen light up when you blink? No? Are you sure? How can you tell? If you're blinking, perhaps you can't see. Why don't you give it a try? Did you glow? No? Well, I'm not really surprised. If humans were able to produce their own light, they may have never invented the electric light bulb. We fireflies have been around for long before electricity. Our light organs, called lanterns, are located in our transparent, see-through abdomens. So I'm going to pause and say, fireflies have transparent, see-through abdomens. All right. Oops. All right, let's go. Next. When humans first discovered us lighting up the forest, they were amazed by how much light we produced. They named us the fireflies, but we are not flies at all, and our light, unlike fire, is cold. Cold light is the way your ancestors explained our beautiful magical light. Scientists now know that chemical reactions create light, and they describe this process with a much bigger word. They call it bioluminescence. Can you say that? Bioluminescence. Bio means living, and lumen means light. I think that's a good name for it, don't you? Other animals and plants glow or light up like tiny electric bulbs, but most of them live in the ocean. Certain types of squid, jellyfish, corals, and even sharks glow beneath the water. Plants such as algae and in the ocean and can grow on the surface of water. At times, this bioluminescence is so bright that it looks as if someone flipped a switch beneath the water. It's less common to find land animals that glow or give off light. I've told you that we are called fireflies, but do any of you call us by another name? We are also called lightning bugs, but we're neither flies nor bugs. We are beetles, another group of insects. Like all insects, we have three body parts. Oh, here I go. That's what I'm listening for. The head, the thorax, and the abdomen. 6 legs, 2 antennas, an exoskeleton, and, like most insects, 2 pairs of wings. We undergo a complete metamorphosis, changing from egg to larva to pupa to adult. Egg, larva, pupa, adult. Some of our eggs and larvae even glow. Have you heard of a glowworm? Glowworms are also misnamed. They're not worms at all. The larvae from fireflies and other insects are often called glowworms because they live on the ground like worms do, and they glow in the dark. So I just want to review two things. One, complete metamorphosis means that the insect completely changes. They look different in their pupa stage and their larva stage than their adult stage. So like caterpillars are in the pupa stage, and when they are adults, they're butterflies. They're completely different animals. So same thing goes with fireflies. When they're larvae, they look like a glowworm. But when they are an adult, they look like a firefly, okay? In order for any animals to survive, they must reproduce or have babies. That means we must work all to attract mates. Fireflies glow when they are seeking mates. Okay, so the purpose of their see-through abdomens is the purpose for this is so they can glow and attract mates. The males fly through the dark, flashing, very specific signals to females who sit patiently and wait for them. Our yellowish-green lights stand out against the night sky as we signal one another with our special codes. When a female recognizes a male's code as being from the same species, she flashes the same code back to him, and the males land beside her. Hi there, I bet you were surprised to see me today. I'm not bioluminescent, I don't glow, but I do sing. That's what I want to talk to you about today. Other ways insects communicate or share information. Fireflies are silent communicators. They flash their glowing lights back and forth. So I'm going to add that here. So that they can glow and attract mates, also to communicate. Okay, how do you communicate with one another? You talk, don't you? And you use your mouths, of course. Although we insects use mouths for eating just like you, we don't have vocal cords or voice boxes, so we don't use them for talking or singing. Even so, we grasshoppers can be a noisy bunch. Have you ever heard grasshoppers sing on a summer day? You won't hear any words, but you will definitely hear a chorus of sounds. Just like birds, each type of grasshopper produces a different song. If you listen closely, you can tell what type of grasshopper is singing by its song. So depending on what sound you hear, it's a different kind of grasshopper. Nearly all grasshoppers have 2 pairs of wings. Okay, grasshoppers have 2 pairs of wings. Male grasshoppers use their wings for communicating. They use their wings for communicating with one another. Female grasshoppers do not sing, but they listen very carefully to hear out sounds with tympanum, eardrums on the side of their abdomens. Grasshoppers, locusts, and crickets all make sounds by rubbing their body parts together, sometimes 2 wings and sometimes a leg and a wing. To make sounds, I lift my wings and rub the front wings together. So they use their front wings for communicating by rubbing them together. I'm just going to add that in there. The vein composed of many tiny teeth on the bottom of one wing rubs against the sharp edge or scraper on the top of another wing. It is a little like rubbing your finger along the teeth of a comb. Can you guys hear that? As the 2 parts rub together, as the 2 parts rub together, the wings vibrate, moving back and forth rapidly to produce the sounds you hear. You may be familiar with my cousin, the katydid. Katydids have long antennas just like me. As they rub their front wings together, it sounds like they are calling out katydid, katydid. Their high-pitched calls become faster and faster as the outside temperature rises. Some people even say that you can tell how hot it is by the number of times per second a katydid chirps. Wow. In some Asian countries, in a tradition that has been practiced for thousands of years, male crickets have been kept in cages as singing pets. Do you know where the ears of a cricket are located? You may remember that female grasshoppers hear with the special parts of their abdomen, but crickets have ears on their forelegs. Both places must seem a little strange to you since your ears are on the side of your head. Before I leave today, I want you to introduce you to another singing insect. These insects are often mistaken for grasshoppers and crickets because they look a lot like us. Does anyone remember what this insect is called? This is a cicada. Cicadas are related to aphids, leafhoppers, and spittlebugs. Unlike grasshoppers and crickets, many cicadas have strong wings and are fast flyers. Male cicadas produce incredibly loud sounds. but they do not use their legs and wings to make those sounds. I wonder what they use. Look closely at the abdomen of a cicada. It's on its underside, close to the thorax. Cicada has a pair of sound-producing organs called tymbals. I'm going to write cicadas, oh my goodness, have tymbals to produce sound. These ribbed membranes are a little like the skin of a drum. The cicada uses its muscles to vibrate these drum-like organs. The timbal pops and clicks as they move in and out. The sound is amplified or made louder inside the mostly hollow abdomen, acting like a drum and creating a loud, buzzing sound. They use this to communicate. Grasshoppers, crickets, and cicadas all use sound to communicate in much the same way as that fireflies use their light. Males attract females for the purpose of mating, making sure that these winged insects will continue to survive. So we could say that fireflies have transparent abdomens so they can attract males and also to communicate. Grasshoppers have 2 pairs of wings. I'm going to say grasshoppers and crickets have 2 pairs of wings, and they use their wings for communicating by rubbing them together. Cicadas have tymbals to produce sound, and they use this to communicate. So as you can see, there's 3 parts of their body, and on these parts they have different. They have wings, they have transparent abdomens. There's all a purpose to it. Most of it is for communicating and for mating. Okay, so go ahead and do your seesaw activity.